4 years ago, we started our journey into virtual or online worship. Now, back then, it was out of necessity. We could not meet together here in person safely and worship together because of the pandemic. And over the years, we have had some issues. Things were easy. Some things were easy, like video. That was actually surprisingly easy to set up and to learn and to understand and to do fairly well. But other things, like I'm sure you've noticed, were a little bit more difficult. We've had more trouble with them. Things like the sound. And over these 3 or 4 years, we have had some issues with the sound, some that we've been able to correct, some that have lingered, some that kind of went away on their own. But about a year ago, we had this one glaring issue pop up. It was this robotic, buzzing, sounding noise that just happened randomly, and we didn't know when it was going to happen. We didn't know where it was coming from. We didn't know why it was happening. And over the last year or so, we have troubleshot a number of different things, none of which worked. And so last week, we really tried to sit down and figure out what this issue was. We knew that we were going to be canceling worship because of the weather last Sunday, and that many of you were going to be watching more than normal, would be watching online with us. We wanted to fix this issue once and for all while we had the time. And if you watched last Sunday, you know that we did not fix it. But we did have a breakthrough. We had a breakthrough Sunday morning. We got up here before worship, and we had a breakthrough about what the issue might be. But there was not enough time to implement those solutions before worship and to test them and to make sure that they worked fine before we started worship. So this week, we came back up here and we had a little bit more time to implement those changes, and we've done so. And we do believe that our main issues have been resolved. Now, I want to say one thing. We love that we have the ability to stream our worship online. But nothing, absolutely nothing compares or can replace the feeling of worshiping here in person together, singing praises to God, praying to God, and worshiping side by side with our fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. Nothing can replace that. So we want to keep doing the online stream for those of you who need it, for those of you who are who can't make it out on certain days, or who, if you're sick, or if you're on vacation and you want to watch and worship with us. We want to keep doing it for those of you who cannot make it here. But if you can make it here, we highly encourage you to come and worship in person. There is nothing that compares to this. So for those of you who do need to worship with us online, we really hope that this new worship experience is better than it ever has been in the last 4 years. And saying that, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you who have stuck with us despite the sound issues, despite even some of the audio or the visual issues that we have sometimes. But we thank you for sticking with us. We thank you for supporting us. And we thank you for allowing us to have the time to be able to fix these issues so that those of you who need to worship online can still do so. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your prayers. Thank you so much for allowing us to be your worship leadership. We can think of nothing better to do than to help you serve and worship God continually. And for that, thanks be to God.